in the silent corners of life. Where the world sees only the ordinary, there lies a power so profound that even the heavens themselves marvel at its unfolding. As a believer, we trust in the promise that God has uniquely created each of us for a purpose far beyond our comprehension. Our lives, though often hidden from the eyes of others, are being meticulously shaped by the divine hand. Just as God concealed the potential of a seed in the depths of the earth, so too has He veiled His divine power within us, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal it. Like a time bomb of divine energy, this power remains hidden in plain sight, waiting to break free when the world is ready. God, in His infinite wisdom, has chosen to keep your strength concealed for a reason. Your abilities are not meant to be seen by just anyone. The world, with all its chaos, is often blind to the divine potential that lies within those who walk in faith. Just as the Bible tells us in Isaiah 55 verse 9, "As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways and my thoughts than your thoughts." God's timing and methods are beyond our understanding, but they are always perfect. He has protected you, kept you hidden, not because you are insignificant, but because your worth is immeasurable. The world's gaze is fixed on the surface, but God sees your heart, your soul, and the purpose He has placed within you. In this season of waiting, you may feel ordinary, overlooked, or dismissed. But take heart, this is not a sign of weakness, but a divine strategy. God has not forgotten you. The Apostle Paul writes in 2 Corinthians 4 verse 7, "But we have this treasure in jars of clay to show that this all-surpassing power is from God and not from us." The treasure within you is hidden for a reason, to prevent it from being wasted, misused, or misunderstood by those who are not yet ready to recognize its fullness. You are being prepared, refined, and strengthened in the silence. Much like a vessel being shaped for a specific purpose, your potential is not meant to be showcased prematurely. Rather, it is being meticulously crafted to withstand the weight of the responsibility that will one day rest upon your shoulders. God, in His divine wisdom, has hidden you not in obscurity but in protection. Just as Jesus was hidden in the temple until the appointed time, you too are in a season of preparation. In the quiet moments when the world seems to forget you, God is at work within you. He is refining you, shaping you, and fortifying your spirit. This hiddenness is not a sign of delay, but a sign of divine protection and preparation. It is in this solitude that you are being made ready for the world-changing task that awaits you. Consider how the Apostle Paul, in his letter to the Philippians 1 verse 6, writes, being confident of this, that He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. Your growth is not linear. It is the unfolding of God's perfect plan, which often requires time, patience, and, above all, trust. Just as the Lord spent years preparing Moses in the wilderness before he was called to deliver the Israelites from Egypt, your time in hiddenness is part of the preparation for the great work you are destined to do. During these quiet seasons, God is not idle. He is cultivating patience within you, teaching you to rely on His timing, and refining your character so that you can carry the weight of the calling that will be placed upon you. The struggles you have faced, the battles fought in the shadows, are not meaningless. God uses every moment, every trial, to shape you into the person He needs you to be. The hardships you endure are not signs of God's abandonment, but tools in His hand, working to refine you like gold in the fire. 1 Peter 1 verse 7. These challenges are not obstacles to your calling, they are the very process by which your calling is being made sure. Every moment of suffering, every trial that has felt overwhelming, is strengthening you, preparing you, and making you into the person you were always meant to be. As Psalm 66 verse 10 to 12 reminds us, "For you, O God, have tested us, you have tried us as silver is tried. You brought us into the net, you laid a crushing burden on our backs. You let men ride over our heads, we went through fire and through water. Yet you have brought us out to a place of abundance. Your struggles are like the refining fires that purify silver, removing impurities and leaving behind only what is pure." These trials are not meant to break you, they are meant to build you into the unshakable force that will rise when the time is right. It is essential to understand that your journey is not just about personal growth, it is also about preparing to lead. God does not call us merely to survive, but to thrive and to lead others. Just as the Lord chose David, a humble shepherd, to be king, He has chosen you for a purpose that extends far beyond yourself. You are being prepared not just for your own victory, but for the responsibility of guiding others. Your purpose is not to merely exist, but to lead others to freedom, to help others find their calling, and to be a beacon of light in a world that is often overshadowed by darkness. The Lord, in His goodness, does not reveal His plans all at once. He reveals them in pieces, according to His perfect timing. In the silence, He is working, preparing, and aligning everything so that when your moment arrives, it will be undeniable. This hiddenness is not a sign of God's neglect, but a testimony of His perfect timing. As the Apostle John writes in Revelation 3 verse 10, "Since you have kept my command to endure patiently, I will also keep you from the hour of trial that is going to come upon the whole world to test the inhabitants of the earth." In the midst of waiting, God is aligning the world around you, preparing the ground for your power to be released at the appointed time. When the time comes for you to step into your purpose, it will not be a quiet unveiling. It will be a force of nature, an undeniable eruption of divine power. Your strength will be like a flood, sweeping away doubt, fear, and confusion, and leaving in its wake a trail of transformation. As Isaiah 60 verse 1 says, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. The world will see the divine power that has been within you all along, and they will witness the miracle of God's plan unfolding before their very eyes." Until that moment arrives, continue to trust in God's timing. Stay rooted in faith, knowing that every moment of waiting is a moment of preparation. In the quiet, in the hiddenness, God is shaping you into the vessel He has called you to be. You are not alone in this journey. God surrounds you with His protection, His guidance, and His love, ensuring that when the time comes for you to rise, you will do so with strength, clarity, and purpose. There is a pull within you, constant and undeniable, as though your very soul is tethered to a purpose that has not yet been fully revealed. This is your second sign, the sense of destiny. It is both a comfort and a weight. You have always felt it, the awareness that your path is different, that you are moving towards something greater, even when the destination remains hidden. While others may drift aimlessly, you are propelled by an invisible thread, leading you toward moments of profound impact. This purpose is not a figment of your imagination, it is the blueprint of your existence, a divine map etched into your being, guiding you toward the fulfillment of a mission only you can accomplish. You are not ordinary, and the signs have been with you all along, quietly affirming your purpose and power. Even in the darkest hours, when challenges loomed large and defeat seemed inevitable, something within you refused to break. This resilience is not mere stubbornness, it is a force deeply embedded in your spirit that rises like an unyielding tide. When others faltered under pressure, you stood firm, fueled by an energy that felt beyond your own. This is your first sign, an unexplainable strength in adversity, forged not by circumstance but by divine intention. You are not merely surviving, you are being refined, built to withstand what others cannot. Your reveal is bound by divine timing. The moment your powers are unveiled has been calculated with precision, aligned to intersect with a greater plan far beyond your current understanding. If revealed before the appointed time, their impact would be dulled, their purpose diluted. God's strategy is not random, it is surgical, ensuring that when you step forward, it will be with unstoppable force and undeniable clarity. Your powers are not meant to be squandered on distractions or diminished by premature exposure. They are being saved for a moment when their effect will resonate at the highest frequency. Your abilities are not meant to blend into the mundane, they are forged to rise above it. You are not ordinary, and your gifts are not accidents of nature. They are divine instruments entrusted to you because only you can wield them. When the moment comes, these powers will not just reveal themselves, they will define you, transform those around you, and echo through eternity. You are not waiting for greatness to happen, it is already within you, sharpening itself for the moment you are called to step forward. Drop a comment below saying, I am protected and ready for my destiny if you feel the power of being hidden and perfected for your greater purpose. Your heightened awareness, a spiritual sensitivity that feels like both a gift and a burden, is a cornerstone of your power. You perceive what others overlook, reading between the lines of what is said and unsaid. It's as though your spirit has antennas, reaching into realms unseen, picking up vibrations of truth and deception, pain and joy. This discernment allows you to see through the fog of lies and manipulation, to sense the currents of events before they unfold. Your empathy is so sharp it sometimes feels like a blade, connecting you deeply to the emotions and struggles of others. This is not weakness, it is a reflection of your profound ability to heal, to guide, and to illuminate paths others cannot find. Even when your powers feel like a burden, when the weight inside isolates you, or your sensitivity to the world feels overwhelming, know that this is part of the preparation. Time and again, you have faced danger moments where harm seemed inevitable, yet you emerged unscathed. Whether it was an accident, an unexpected escape from harm, or simply an inexplicable sense of safety, you have felt the invisible shield around you. This is your third sign, divine protection. It confirms that forces greater than yourself are at work, guarding you for the precise moment when your purpose will be fully unleashed. You are not merely lucky, you are protected, surrounded by unseen guardians who intervene when necessary, ensuring that nothing derails the path laid out for you. In the divine plan of God, you have been chosen to carry a purpose far greater than what the world can see. You are not simply a wanderer through life, caught in the ebb and flow of earthly affairs. No, your path has been designed with intention, purpose, and grace, aligning you with the work that God has prepared for you. The signs you see are not coincidences, but affirmations from the divine, whispers that echo in your soul, confirming that you are a chosen one set apart for something extraordinary. Your resilience, your strength in times of adversity, your sense of purpose, and the protection you feel are not random occurrences. They are divine gifts, carefully woven into the fabric of your being, each one playing a part in preparing you for your calling. In the book of Jeremiah, God assures us that He has plans for us, plans to prosper us and give us hope, not harm. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. This is the foundation of your journey. Each challenge, each triumph, each moment of doubt has a purpose. They are not mere events, they are part of a grand divine design. God has equipped you with everything you need to rise to the occasion. Your struggles are not meaningless, they are the refining fires that purify you, that mold you into the person you are becoming. They are the necessary steps to prepare you for the calling that will impact not only your life but also the lives of many others. When you face trials and tribulations, remember the words of Romans 8 verse 28, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. These moments of hardship are not a reflection of your weakness but a sign of divine preparation. God is working in you and through you, shaping you into the instrument He will use to bring about His will. Every moment of pain, every feeling of being overlooked, every struggle that seems to never end, these are the moments where God is strengthening your faith, building your character, and preparing you for the power that is about to be unleashed. Your power, when revealed, will be unstoppable. But the unveiling of this power will not be random or premature. It will come in divine timing, orchestrated by God Himself. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1 tells us, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens." The moment when your true identity is revealed has already been written in the book of your life. You are not late, you are not early. You are exactly where you need to be, in the season of preparation. In God's perfect timing, your purpose will unfold, and the power within you will burst forth, ready to fulfill the work He has destined for you. But the revelation of your purpose will not come in a quiet, unremarkable way. When the time arrives, it will be like a thunderous roar, shaking the very foundation of the world around you. Your presence will be felt as a force that cannot be ignored. This is the moment for which you have been prepared, when the world is in desperate need of change, when the darkness feels overwhelming, when the cries for help grow louder. It is in these moments of crisis that your purpose will shine the brightest. You will be the beacon of hope, the one who steps forward, not by choice, but by divine calling. Isaiah 60 verse 1 says, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. Your light has been hidden, waiting for this moment to shine." The world needs what you carry: your purpose, your strength, your resilience. You have been crafted by God to bring change, to heal, and to restore. The strength within you is not for you alone. It is meant to flow through you, touching the lives of everyone you encounter. You are a vessel of God's power, His love, and His healing. As you wait for the moment of alignment, know that this time of preparation is not in vain. You are being shaped, refined, and protected, so that when you step into your calling, you will be ready. Psalm 23 verse 4 assures us that even in the darkest valleys, God is with us, comforting and guiding us. The trials you have faced, the battles fought in the unseen realm, and the struggles that seem too great to overcome have all been part of God's perfect plan. They have prepared you to lead, to inspire, and to transform. When your true identity is revealed, it will be a moment that changes everything. It will not be a slow, drawn-out process, but a sudden eruption of purpose and power. The world will see you as you truly are, not as ordinary, not as unremarkable, but as someone divinely chosen, equipped, and ready. Your moment of revelation will be a turning point, not only for you, but for the many lives that will be touched by your power. If you are ready to step into your destiny, to embrace the divine protection and guidance that have been surrounding you, it is time to act. Join the community of chosen ones who are walking this extraordinary path, who understand that their purpose is unstoppable, and who are aligned with the divine plan of God. Obsidian Inner Order is a sanctuary for those who understand that they are not here by accident. They are here for a reason, chosen by God to fulfill a purpose that will transform the world. As you walk in your truth, remember that this journey is not about you. It is about the impact you will have on others, the lives you will touch, and the healing you will bring. You are not waiting for permission to step into your power, you are waiting for divine alignment. When that moment comes, you will rise, not by your own strength, but by the strength of God working through you. In conclusion, your power is not for you alone. It is meant to flow through you, touching lives, healing wounds, and transforming the world around you. You are not just another person in the crowd, you are a divine instrument, chosen and prepared for such a time as this. Trust in the divine timing of your life. Trust that every experience, every hardship, and every triumph has been a part of God's plan to prepare you for your moment of revelation. And when that moment comes, it will be undeniable, unstoppable, and transformative for you and everyone around you. Embracing divine power, a journey of faith and humility. When you fully step into who you are meant to be, your presence will ignite a wave of healing that will wash over others like rain on a dry and barren land. This healing is not just physical, it is spiritual, reviving the hearts and minds of those who have been lost, broken, or ensnared by the chains of doubt and suffering. Your light will pierce through the darkness, bringing hope and renewal to those who have been wandering in despair. This is not just about your own growth, but the healing of the world, one soul at a time. In the eyes of faith, the journey to becoming your true self is far more than an individual endeavor. It is an act of divine will that ripples outward, transforming others through your courage, your perseverance, and your willingness to be a vessel of God's grace. As the Apostle Paul reminds us in 2 Corinthians 4 verse 7, "But we have this treasure in jars of clay, to show that this all-surpassing power is from God and not from us. The power you hold is not yours to control, it is a divine gift, given to you for a greater purpose." Your true identity and the strength it carries are not simply for personal growth, but are meant to serve as a beacon for others, guiding them to their own potential. You are not simply called to exist in the world, but to confront it with unwavering resolve. Your power is not a tool for comfort, but for confrontation, for standing against the forces of darkness that seek to oppress and deceive. Ephesians 6 verse 11 urges us to put on the full armor of God, so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. Your presence will be a direct challenge to the status quo of fear, hatred, and oppression. Where there is darkness, your light will shine brightly, and darkness will have no choice but to retreat. This battle is not yours alone, it is part of the greater plan of salvation, where God calls his children to rise and confront the evil that seeks to destroy. Your purpose is not limited to simply standing in the light, it is about becoming a force that awakens others to their divine calling. As you embrace your full identity, you become a spark that ignites the dormant fire in those around you. You will inspire those who have long doubted themselves, those who feel lost or abandoned. Through your actions and your courage, you will help others see that they too carry within them the power to transform their own lives and the lives of those they touch. In this sense, your journey is not a solitary one, it is part of a collective awakening. Your revelation of purpose will awaken the souls of others, encouraging them to step into the fullness of their divine roles. This is not a mere coincidence, it is the natural outcome of divine order. You are part of a greater design, a force that is multiplying, calling others to rise in their own divine time. As Jesus said in Matthew 5 verse 14 to 16, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house." Your light is not meant to be hidden, but to shine for all to see, inspiring others to step into the purpose they were created for. Yet, with this power comes great responsibility. Your strength is not your own. It is a gift from God, given to you to fulfill His will. Every moment of insight, every surge of ability, every act of healing flows from the divine source, and it is essential that you always recognize this. It is easy to fall into the trap of thinking that you are the creator of your power, but to do so would be to forget the very reason you were chosen. In 1 Peter 4 verse 10 we are reminded, each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others, as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. Your power, though immense, is not meant to be wielded for self-glorification but for the transformation of the world around you. To allow pride to take root within you is to risk distorting the very power that has been entrusted to you. Pride, as subtle as it may seem, is your greatest adversary. It blinds you to the higher purpose of your calling, reducing the profound gift you carry into something superficial. Proverbs 16 verse 18 warns, "Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. The temptation to elevate yourself, to seek accolades or praise, can easily cloud your vision." You must guard against this with every part of your being, keeping your focus on the mission God has placed before you. Your mission is not to elevate your own name, but to lift others up, to show them the way out of darkness, to bring healing where there is hurt, and to reflect the light of Christ in a world that desperately needs it. This is the true nature of your calling, to be a bridge between the divine and the human, to act as a vessel of grace and mercy. In Matthew 23 verse 11, Jesus teaches, "The greatest among you will be your servant." True greatness is found in humility, in being willing to serve others and to shine light on their path. With this calling, there is no room for arrogance or reckless action. Your power is not meant to be wielded thoughtlessly, but with great care and wisdom. Each step you take, each decision you make, must align with the greater purpose for which you were chosen. It is not about brute force, it is about precision, discernment, and intentionality. Proverbs 4 verse 7 says, "The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom. Though it cost all you have, get understanding." Wisdom is what will amplify the impact of your power, ensuring that every action is taken with thoughtful consideration. To act without reflection is to risk misusing the divine gift entrusted to you. You must always be grounded in prayer, seeking guidance from God, and remaining attuned to His will. As you face challenges, triumphs, and moments of doubt, remember that your power is not yours to control. It is a tool to be used for God's glory, for the building of His kingdom, and for the healing of His people. The world will test you. It will offer you praise to distract you, or criticism to provoke you, but neither should sway your focus. Your path is not determined by the voices around you, but by the unshakable purpose within you. Stay rooted in your calling, remembering that you are not just a vessel of power, but a steward of it. Your strength lies not in the recognition you receive, but in your ability to remain humble and focused on the greater mission. Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Matthew 5 verse 16. The true measure of your success will not be in how much power you accumulate, but in how well you serve, how faithfully you steward your gifts, and how deeply you help others rise into their own divine potential. This is the eternal impact you were created for, a force of transformation, rooted in humility, guided by wisdom, and propelled by divine love. In humility, we find the true clarity of God's purpose for our lives. In wisdom, we discover the means to act with divine effectiveness. As Christians, we are called to honor the gifts God has entrusted to us by staying true to our divine mission, one that He has designed with precision and care. We are not here by chance. Our paths are not meandering roads of uncertainty. Every moment of quiet struggle, every hidden victory, and every silent battle is part of a greater, divine design that prepares us for a purpose far greater than we can fathom. Scripture reminds us in Jeremiah 29 verse 11 that, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." This truth is the foundation of our confidence as we walk in faith. The power that lies within us, though often veiled, is no less potent. God, in His infinite wisdom, allows our potential to build, strengthen, and refine itself during times of waiting, preparing for the perfect moment to reveal the fullness of our identity. This is not by accident, it is the result of God's careful and intentional planning. Just as He promised in Psalm 139 verse 16, "Your eyes saw my unformed substance, in your book were written, every one of them, the days that were formed for me, when as yet there were none of them." Our lives have been divinely orchestrated, aligned with a higher purpose that transcends our understanding. As we wait for the moment of our full revelation, we are reminded that we are not alone in this process. God's divine forces surround and protect us, shielding us from harm and guiding us along the path He has set for us. The hiddenness of our identity is not a limitation, it is God's protective fortress, safeguarding us from the forces of evil that would seek to distort our power or thwart His plan before it is fully realized. In Psalm 91 verse 4, we are reminded, "He will cover you with His pinions, and under His wings you will find refuge." His faithfulness is a shield and buckler. Every trial we face is part of our protection, not to break us but to shape us into unshakable vessels capable of carrying out God's will. Trust in God's covering, for it is unwavering. No enemy, obstacle, or misstep can thwart the divine plan laid out for us. In the same way that God's timing is perfect, so is His protection. He watches over us, ensuring that we arrive at the appointed time of our revelation prepared and whole. This process requires active participation on our part, intentional growth, unwavering faith, and readiness for the work God has called us to do. When God calls us to step into our purpose, it will not be a passive event. It will demand our readiness, our action, and our faith. Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened, and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Joshua 1 verse 9. The unveiling of our true identity will be a powerful moment of divine authority, but it will require us to be prepared. We must continually sharpen our gifts, align our actions with God's will, and root ourselves in the wisdom of the Holy Spirit so that when the moment of revelation arrives, we can step into our God-given power with clarity and strength. This is not a time for doubt or hesitation, but for intentional and faithful growth. Each decision we make, each step we take in obedience, builds the foundation for the impact we are destined to have in this world. The story God is writing for us is not just for our benefit, it is for those around us, those whose lives will be touched by the testimony of His faithfulness in our journey. By sharing our stories, our struggles, our victories, and the lessons learned through it all, we inspire others to see the greatness God has placed within them as well. As followers of Christ, we are reflections of what is possible through God's grace and strength. We are living testaments to the resilience and purpose that He instills in each of us. Jesus said in Matthew 5 verse 14, "You are the light of the world." A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. We too are called to shine brightly for others, showing them that through God's grace all things are possible. The strength we gain through our trials, the wisdom we gain through our waiting, and the power we gain through our faith are not just for our own benefit but for the benefit of the world. We must speak boldly about the transformation that God is working within us. As we grow, as we face challenges and triumph over them, we witness the power of His love and His plan. We are not just chosen to be God's vessels, we are catalysts of change in a world that desperately needs His light. When the time comes for us to step forward and reveal the gifts and purposes that God has hidden within us, we will do so with the clarity and strength that only His Spirit can provide. Through the power of humility, we allow God to refine us. Through the wisdom He provides, we are made effective in carrying out His will. This is how we honor His calling and how we fulfill the mission He has given to us. The gifts we possess, though they may seem hidden or dormant for now, are being honed for a greater purpose, one that will transform not only our lives but the lives of those around us. As we remain faithful in the waiting, God is preparing us for an unveiling that will be unmistakable, undeniable, and powerful. We are being shaped into the people we were always meant to be. God has already ordained our destiny, and His timing is perfect. We can trust that He is with us every step of the way, covering us, protecting us, and guiding us toward the fulfillment of His plan. The world may not yet know who we are, but God does, and in His time He will reveal the fullness of His plan for us. Until that moment comes, let us remain steadfast in our faith, knowing that we are not just waiting for greatness, we are being made ready for it. Just as God was faithful to those who came before us, He will be faithful to us. For the gifts and the calling of God are irrevocable. Romans 11 verse 29. Let us trust in His plan and allow Him to continue refining us, preparing us for the powerful moment when our purpose will be fully revealed. The time is coming, and when it does, we will step into our destiny with courage, clarity, and divine strength, knowing that God's hand has been upon us every step of the way.